Hey, Miley.
How are you?
How's it going?
Good.
Good. All right, so tell us why this campaign felt like a natural fit for you.
I think something that Mac has always made really important to them and is people able to be different. And I think, I was talking to everyone at Mac today actually, is I think some of kids' first experiences of seeing people that look unlike themselves and that are really free, or maybe seeing them in Mac stores, you know, and guys and girls getting to wear all this cool looks and cool makeup and just being really free to be who you are. And then also obviously the cause of kind of directing people to start a conversation about, you know, HIV and those already affected, but also prevention for a lot of, you know, my younger fans, being able to kind of start that conversation earlier than usually happens, because I think there's this kind of awkwardness of where people kind of feel guilty, they don't know how to talk about sex and they don't know how to ask questions. And I think if there's someone out there that's like me, that's really open to talk about sexuality, of being able to kind of start that conversation, I think it's really important.
Yeah, it was a perfect match, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of the lipstick and the lip gloss, how did you come up with the shade? Was there
The lip gloss was the one that I was really obsessed with because I wanted it to feel like a liquid disco ball, but that was hot pink, like in hot pink lava disco ball melting situation. And then the lip, I wanted it to come, you know, something that my older fans can kind of wear. It's like also mature, and you can go out, or it's not, you know, too crazy. But if you're going to work, you wear the lipstick. If you go into the club, you put on the blouse. You know what I mean? You got like day and night. You got part 1, part 2.
Love that.
Yeah. So you get to have fun. And then also for my younger fans, the gloss on its own is really, really nice too.
Yeah, it's not too much.
It's not too pink. It's just sparkly, and that's obviously Queen of Sparkles.
Exactly. You got it going on.
Yeah.
So obviously growing up in the spotlight, what beauty advice would you give yourself as a 16-year-old now?
Oh my goodness. I think what I'd give to even 16-year-olds today, which is like I said, less is more, chill. I think when you're younger, you try to make yourself look older, and everyone tries to tell you you're going to regret it as you get older. And then I wear, I think, less makeup now as 22 than I did maybe when I was 15 or 16.
I saw an Instagram picture that you posted of you when
myself
you were 17,
back in the day, and
you
now
were like, this is me then and this is me now.
Yeah, and I literally wear less. I had extensions and was like always feeling I had to be in high heels and my makeup done, and that's what I warn girls about Instagram now, is a lot of girls are chasing girls that don't exist. They're like chasing reality that isn't real because people get a fine tune and they always have their, you know, going out as like a fashion show, and that's just not reality. And I think what I kind of try to remind girls is that isn't reality.
Exactly.
I'm a real human that's real, and I have zits, and I, you know, whatever, sorry. You know, whatever it is. There's all kinds, people are humans, and people forget that even the people on Instagram are human, and they're not all what they seem to be through a picture, you know.
On a personal note, I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Because it really is refreshing.
It's nice when you look at, honestly, sometimes when you look at Instagram or Twitter and you see girls, you're like, why don't I look that way? Or you see people that are 15 that look prettier, like, and done than you, and you're like, you know, it feels so crazy. And what people have made, it's always been this way, especially for girls. I think of the formula of what's supposed to be pretty and what a woman is supposed to be has always been something that I think that I accepted more when I was younger. And now that I'm older, I'm like, forget that. Like, I don't want to be like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have so many lovely women in your life. Your mom, your sisters, Dolly Parton, for instance. What's the best piece of beauty advice any of them have ever told you?
You know, my mom has always been really cool. Like, even now, I've always been able to kind of be free with the way I look. And I think that was what my mom always let me do. My mom never looked like a typical mom. And even some moms, the pressure never ends for women. As you get older, the pressure it continues to happen, and it's like, oh, other mom was judging me for not looking like other moms, and my mom's never cared. My mom's got tattoos, long blonde hair, and is who she is, and like loves rock and roll music, and is also an awesome mom. You know, so I think she's always, she's like, who cares? Like, don't judge anyone, just be free. Yeah, and she's hot, and be who you want, and she's never trying to make me like be in a box. I think Dolly too. Dolly's like, don't let what's on the outside. Don't let that control what people think about you on the inside. Let your insides always stand out brighter than whatever you got going on.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
this
you.
was such a refreshing interview to talk to you about and hear your
life
perspective.
stuff.
Yeah, because beauty's so subjective, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard for
Put on my lip gloss and you'll look prettier.
Yeah. Okay, this is something I wanted to tell you that Pop Sugar, you're one of our favorite Instagram accounts to follow.
Oh, thank you.
So I was inspired by one of your Instagrams, your kitschy little hairband. So I might have DIY'd a little headband.
Oh my God,
for
it's
you.
really awesome.
I wanted to include pizza.
If you really
and
sat here and
Bubba.
did this, that's pretty next
totally
level.
hot glued that this morning.
How fun is it?
It's amazing.
The hot glue gun is like, it's
changing my life.
It's like crack. Like all of a sudden you'll be up at 9 in the morning and you're just gonna be.
And there's glitter glue now.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing.
Thank
and then
you
a little
very
confetti
much.
pop and
Thank
a
you very
friendship
much.
bracelet.
Thank you so.
Of course.
Thank you. This is very
Thank you
cool.
for meeting with me today.
I like the DIY.
Oh, I know. I tried my best.
That's fun.
I gotta get kitschy with it.
No, that's fun. They have anger issues, my dogs, and abandonment issues. So when I go on tour, they like to poop on my couch or in my bed.
This is Miley's guide too.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and in terms of these subjects, you're going to give me your best tip or trick.
Cool.
Okay? So first one, waxing.
Okay, I tried to do that by myself one time. The trick is to never do it by yourself, and there's a reason why there's professionals, and it's a disaster and a hospital ride waiting to happen. I luckily didn't go to the hospital, but I could see how some might.
We've all heard those horror stories.
Yeah, no one's trying to do that.
It.
Don't
Leave it to the pros. Selfies.
Selfies, you'll never see a selfie where my friend makes fun of me. He's like, get that arm up, girl, because I shoot from up here all the time. I got the up angle. But you got to know, there's actually this really good one of guys. It's a selfie guide for guys, which is like, okay, put your phone like this. Now put your phone down, now a little lower. Okay, now put it on the table. Don't take a selfie. And I always send that to all my guy friends, like, there you go. Because, you know, selfies, they're one of those things. They're one of those things. They can go one way or the other.
Yeah, they're a little self-indulgent.
Yeah, they're pretty cheesy.
If you do it, you
got to go above angle.
Yeah, I'm like, get as high as possible.
Yeah, me too.
All right, keeping your hair from breaking when going that blonde.
Okay, when you're doing it, you think that you should okay, when you're breaking out, all you want to do is put on 1,000 things, and when your hair's breaking off, you just want to put on 1,000 things. Less is more all the time.
Okay, love that.
Yeah, you start turning your hair into gummy, because I started doing that where I'd like put any kind of lotion, anything to make it better, and then they're like, okay, now it's actually making it worse. Your body knows what to do, so just let it kind of do, I think.
How about housebreaking your animals?
Oh, okay, I have 4 dogs. I'm not sure if one of them is even fully potty trained because they are potty trained, but they have anger issues, my dogs, and abandonment issues. So when I go on tour, they like to poop on my couch or in my bed.
You know what happens.
Yeah. So I deal with that a lot. I also have a pig, which
Bubba.
that's like a really insane situation. And so yeah, my animals, that's one thing that I'm still constantly dealing with. And my dogs are like old.
Yeah, because it's hard because you're gone.
I've got too many dogs, and they literally do it to be like, okay, don't go on tour.
Mom, come home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, how about throwing a party?
I would be known to have a good one of those. Just whatever you got, make sure you don't run out. The worst thing you can have is then all of a sudden you look around and like everything is empty. You got to have backstock. I have backstock of everything at all times.
You're like a full bar.
No, you got to. And also when you're like, if you have like guys over and all of a sudden there's like no food, you're literally done. Like everyone leaves. They're
like, bye.
Yeah, they go to In-N-Out.
All right, and the last one, avoiding wardrobe malfunctions.
Double stick tape, baby. That's literally my best
Like
friend.
toupee tape?
Yeah, literally.
That stuff's the best.
It's the best.
It stays put, especially like if you're in a bikini.
No matter what, you gotta just tape it on.
Miley is teamed up with cosmetic brand MAC to raise money for charity. Every cent from the sale of Viva Glam lipstick and lip gloss goes towards helping women, men and children living with and affected by HIV/AIDS.
It's all about bringing awareness and starting a conversation, but we also hope to make, some real significant money that can start going towards, they do an amazing job of finding these brilliant people that are really going to finding a cure, and I want that to be something that I see in my lifetime. Because there's so much shame that comes with talking about sexuality that people don't ask enough questions. Kids don't know who to ask, and I think with me being in the platform that I'm in and being someone that's not shy to talk about that, it's a good way to start the conversation.
Miley has fond memories of her most recent tour down under and ranks her Aussie fans among the best in the world.
They just get rowdy, and there's very few places that are like that. I was on tour in South America right before I went to Australia, and it's very similar. I think it's because I'm not there very often. I don't tour there often, so when I do go, the fans are just out of it. Totally crazy.
Miley set Sunrise on fire during her visit, performing for us at an exclusive concert event at the Sydney Opera House.
Fans were crazy that day. I don't know if you heard how nuts they were. They were lining up the day before I was there, and people had already started lining up, so it was awesome. It was a great experience. It was early. It was definitely early, but it was really fun, and they were already like up and ready to party.
Miley's Bangers Tour DVD will be released next month.
Cool.
Let's talk about this campaign. You look
very much.
amazing in these photos.
Thank you.
Why was it important for you to be part of this?
In 2013, it was like I was kind of getting all this attention, and kind of everything came back on me, and I went on tour for a while, and I feel like I got to kind of do some like soul searching in a way of what did I want my music to mean, what did I kind of want my life to mean, and I thought if I have all this attention on me, and if I'm going to sell something and people are going to rush to get it, I want it to kind of mean something, and then we felt it was a good time, and
a good cause?
Yeah, it was a good cause. I work really closely within, the homeless community and young homeless kids. They don't know if they're affected, but it's also a very high risk within the community. My foundation can kind of work together with MAC and use where I'm at in my life to do as much as I can.
I admire that, and I
Thanks.
appreciate that you're doing that.
Thanks.
A lot of other spokespeople in the past, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga. Have you, I'm curious, ever gone out and purchased any of their products?
I did. I got the Gaga lipstick. I was actually
Okay.
obsessed with it for a little while. Probably some of the Gaga fans hate me because I bought like 10 at a time, because when it's done, my fans gotta know that it's done, so I couldn't get it again.
It's Miley's fault.
Yeah, because I was obsessed with the color.
I see on your Instagram all these MAC photos that you've been posting. Sometimes your Instagrams are a little more personal. I'm curious what your thought process is whenever you go to post.
Not much. People go, whoa, like you ever wake up and think, wow, like maybe I shouldn't Instagram that. You can tell when I'm like really bored or I just woke up. So I'll lay in bed for an hour and I'll just like do like 8 or 9 posts in a row. Yeah. I'll post for 3 days. People don't know what's happened to me. People would literally text me and ask me if I'm okay. Like my manager's always like, are you okay? Like, are you on this planet? Because we haven't heard from you. We haven't seen any Instagram posts. But I think Instagram is fun because there's also a lot of downsides to it, I think, for young girls. But I think it's also a place where you can kind of celebrate being who you are. You can be whoever you want to be on Instagram, which is fun. That's also dangerous, but it's also really fun for people like me.
And we can't stop, and we won't stop.
Sometimes you get a bad rap in the media, and I feel like you're the nicest person
thanks.
ever. What do you think is the biggest misconception about yourself? And clear it up.
I think people try to make me seem a lot less centered than I am because I am exactly kind of who you see on TV. I'm who I am, and you see what I'm doing, and I'll never say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. You make choices, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, just like in life. Mine are just magnified, but you know, people kind of try to make you seem out of control when actually I'm pretty happy, centered person that likes to do a lot of, you know, things for people, and I'm, you know, not driven by kind of just my own self and wanting more, and I think I'm just a lot more centered.
Well, when can we hear new music from you?
I'm trying, babe. I'm trying to get this stuff out SAP. I'm working on it. Everything I want, like anytime I would do lipstick, I would want it to go to the right thing, and my music, same thing. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can kind of get my music wrapped in with everything else that I'm a part of. But it's coming. I'm in the studio every day at my house, but I got all of it. I just don't know when I want to kind of go out there. And I'm still writing. So much is still happening in my life that just when I think I have my record done, something new happens where I want to write about it.
Is Madonna going to be on this album?
We'll see.
See all these pictures that you're posting.
I know everyone. I know they want it. We did something together earlier in the year, so we'll get back at it for sure.
Pretty please.
Yeah.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Grammy nomination. I mean, what was that feeling like when you got nominated?
I thought it was a joke. Like my friend was in my room and said, "Hey, you just got nominated for a Grammy," and I was like, "You're kidding!" I literally said, "You're kidding," and he was like, "No, actually for real." I'm like, "No, there's no way." And then I googled and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I am. I actually am." And I was at Art Basel. And so we definitely partied a little bit to celebrate. I was super excited, and it's really cool. You know, it's definitely an honor thing to be a part of, and I'm stoked.
Are you ready for the big day?
I don't know.
coming
I'm
up.
pretty mellow with that kind of stuff. You know, the chances are, I'm not a pessimist, but I'm just saying, like, I won't be crying myself to sleep if I don't win a Grammy. You know,
I'll be crying for you.
I won't. I'm like down with, like, you know, my fans. Like, I always, the awards that I usually win are always fan nominated, which are I'm more stoked about those because the people,
The smilers.
Yeah, there's nothing in there in the middle of it. You know, it's just direct, and it's like what the kids are really feeling right now.
You were in Hawaii recently, huh? Did you have fun?
I was. It was fun.
Did you surf?
I didn't get the opportunity because these motherfuckers wouldn't quit taking my picture. So I couldn't even go on the beach and enjoy it because people were saying to me...
Like paparazzi people or
yes,
random people?
No, paparazzi saying, come on, we'll leave you alone if you give us a shot in your bikini. I said, go to my concert. I wear way less than a bikini in there. What does a bikini photo of me have any... What does that cost? That couldn't make any money.
Yeah.
Selling a photo of me in a bikini probably isn't worth much.
Right, yeah.
I do interviews in less than a bikini. I mean, come on. Yeah.
I want to talk about the V-Mag photos. Damn.
Thanks.
So what inspired you to, just let it all hang out?
As you would imagine, I walk around naked a lot, and so we were on tour, and we ended up taking pictures. I mean, in that kind of diary, we started at my house in LA, we're in London, we're in, I think one of the photos were in Sweden. I mean, I don't know, we're all over the world. So it was kind of we started this diary of a Dirty Hippie. It's for V Magazine. Because when you're on tour, you only have an hour and a half of a show. And I was on tour for a year. Probably the last time you saw me was February, maybe last year, literally about to leave for tour again.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
And then I was gone for a year. So you get bored in some hotel rooms and you get naked and you take some pictures.
This is great, the Viva Glam campaign. Tell me how you got involved and congrats on it.
Thank you. You know, it's kind of been a little while we've been talking about doing this. It was actually even before Bangers came out. And Mac was kind of one of the first people to kind of jump on board and say, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to do stuff that's loud. I want to make movements and changes. And they're obviously all about that.
Yeah.
And really about people being free to look and be and say who and what they want to be.
Yeah.
And so I wanted my color to kind of represent that too. And also because the range of people that it's gonna be on, from young girls to older girls. I want it to be something that everyone could kind of wear.
So as a guy, I gotta know, is it kissable? Is it gonna get
It's
all over
kissable.
me?
It is gonna get all over you, but it's not gonna move off me. That's what's good. There's a magic to lipstick where somehow it can get on the other person. You can get that cute little mark, you can get the kiss mark, but then it stays. You know, they were asking me how it works with makeout sessions. I said, I don't know, but I do know for a day of press, it is incredible because you can do 40 interviews in a row and talk as much as I do, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Another thing about Viva Glam is it's tied itself into a great charity, all about promoting safe sex, of course. And it's funny because some people might say that your image is a little over the top sexually.
Yeah.
Right? So, Miley, what's the balance between your image and the real life Miley?
I think because at least most people are shy to have a conversation about sex in general or sexuality. I've never been someone to be like that, obviously. So I think it's just someone that's like me, that's young, that can start conversations with people. And my parents were always just so cool about me, like asking a billion questions. It was never a thing where I even had to ask. My parents would just mention, you know, talk to us about it.
Yeah.
I think parents just get insecure and they
Communication's
want to
important,
think that their kids are never going to do it, but then they never have the conversation, you know.